the gunfire may have ceased, but the verbal battles continue. And not just between Russia and Georgia. The echoes of this dispute reach as far as Washington, where President George Bush once again expressed support for Georgia.
Good morning. The United States of America stands with the democratically elected government of Georgia. We insist that the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Georgia be respected.
This comment was heard loud and clear in Moscow and raised some official eyebrows.
I cannot but be surprised again by the qualification of the American president's speechwriters. The US president didn't say anything about our efforts in recent years to persuade Georgia to sign non-use of force agreements with Tsinvali or Sukhumi. And of course the speech doesn't mention in any way the events in South Ossetia, and especially of what happened last Friday night.
Russia's foreign minister also touched upon the thorny subject of Western media coverage of the situation in the conflict zone. Based on media reports, President Bush expressed concern over the location of Russian troops in the region.
We're concerned about reports that Russian units have taken up positions on the east side of the city of Gori, which allows them to block the east-to-west highway, divide the country, and threaten the capital of Tbilisi. We're concerned about reports that Russian forces have entered and taken positions in the port city of Poti, that Russian armored vehicles are blocking access to that port, and that Russia is blowing up Georgian vessels. We expect Russia to meet its commitment to cease all military activities in Georgia, and we expect all Russian forces that entered Georgia in recent days to withdraw from that country. So I have made clear Russia's ongoing action raised serious questions about its intentions in Georgia and the region. Russia must keep its word and act to end this crisis.
But Russia says the U.S. president forgot to double-check his facts.
The facts of his speech do not correspond with reality. No Russian troops that are enforcing a peacekeeping operation in Georgia have been sent to Poti. Over the last few days, Russian troops have been operating near the towns of Gori and Seaki. And we've never made a secret of it. All the local authorities have fled the town of Gori. Only local citizens stay there and are being left on their own. They lack food, and the Russian military is now organizing humanitarian aid for them.
Meanwhile, the international community welcomes the ceasefire as good news. Stability in the region is essential, and who better to appreciate it than its neighbors?
The
meeting provides us with an opportunity to assess the situation in South Ossetia again. The situation allows us to take a new look at relations between the two countries, solidarity between which is very important in this region.
The Turkish Prime Minister is in Moscow to offer solidarity and support to one of his country's most important partners, a step appreciated by both sides.
Countries as close as Russia and Turkey that have good, strong ties need to sink their watches when problems arise. Unfortunately, there are a lot of problems lately, and I mean Georgia's recent aggression towards South Ossetia.
Georgia is also expecting a supporting visit from the U.S. Secretary of State, but that support they had long before the war.
We've paid attention not only to what the US president has mentioned, but also what he missed in his statement. The US president says nothing about the last few years when Georgia was being armed by many countries, including the United States.
And while the present is still tense for Russia-US relations, the future, according to both sides, could be even more complicated should the wrong choices be made. South Ossetia has long been a bone of contention between Russia and Georgia. But as the conflict moves from the military to the diplomats, it's Russia and the United States that will have a lot of bones to pick with each other. Katrina Azar.